Hey guys, Chris Fix here. We've all been there, or at least we all dread it. You're cruising down the highway, music playing, not a care in the world, and then it happens. That dreaded sound, that plume of smoke, that sinking feeling in your stomach as your car grinds to a halt on the side of the road. It's a nightmare scenario, leaving you stranded, stressed, and staring at a massive tow truck bill, not to mention the repair costs that are about to hit your wallet like a freight train. You're left wondering what went wrong. Could I have prevented this? The answer is almost always a resounding yes. Today we're going to tackle that exact question. I'm going to show you the 10 most common, most destructive car-killing mistakes that I see people make every single day. These are the seemingly small habits and oversights that can secretly destroy your engine, your transmission, and your car's entire structure, stopping it dead in its tracks long before it ever has a chance to see that glorious 100,000-mile mark on the odometer. We're going to go through each one, step by step, so you can avoid the pain, the cost, and the roadside breakdowns for good. This isn't just about avoiding disaster, it's about empowerment. It's about taking control of your vehicle's health and your finances. By simply stopping these 10 specific habits, you're not just dodging a bullet, you're actively extending the life of your car, ensuring it runs smoothly, reliably, and safely for years and years to come. We're talking about saving potentially thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars in preventable repairs and replacement costs. This is the knowledge that turns you from a passive car owner into a smart, proactive driver who's always one step ahead of the mechanic. And make sure you stick around for the entire video because mistake number 10 is a real shocker. It's a silent killer that most drivers, even the careful ones, completely overlook, and it could be slowly eating away at your car's lifespan right now without you even realizing it. But before we get to that, we have to start at the beginning, with the most obvious warning signs your car can give you. So grab your tools, get comfortable, and let's get started on saving your car and your wallet. Let's make sure your car is one of the ones that proudly cruises past 100,000 miles. Alright, let's dive right into our first car-killing mistake, ignoring those strange noises. Think of your car as a patient that can't speak. It can't tell you, hey, my brakes are wearing dangerously thin, or my engine is starving for oil. Instead, it communicates through a language of sounds, squeals, grinds, knocks, and whines. One of the most common and most critical sounds is a high-pitched squeal when you press the brake pedal. This isn't the car's radio acting up, it's a built-in safety feature, a little metal tab on your brake pads called a wear indicator, screaming for your attention. This wear indicator is specifically designed to make an annoying, impossible-to-ignore noise. It's your car's way of giving you an early warning. When you hear that squeal, it means your brake pads are nearing the end of their life. You still have a bit of material left, but it's your final call to get them replaced. Ignoring this sound is like ignoring a fire alarm because you can't see the flames yet. If you let it go, that squeal will eventually turn into something far more sinister, a sound that signifies not just wear, but active, expensive damage happening with every single stop. So what happens if you keep driving? That warning squeal will transform into a deep, metallic grinding noise. That's the sound of the brake pad's metal backing plate grinding directly against your brake rotor. At this point, you've moved beyond a simple maintenance issue and into the realm of serious repair. You're no longer just wearing down a replaceable pad, you are actively carving deep grooves into the rotor, a much more expensive component. A simple, affordable brake pad replacement has now escalated into a costly brake pad and rotor job, potentially doubling or even tripling the repair bill. This is a classic example of how a small, easily fixable problem snowballs into a major wallet-draining catastrophe. Every time you press that pedal and hear that grind, you are literally shredding metal and throwing money away. You're also severely compromising your ability to stop safely, increasing your stopping distance and putting yourself and others at risk. The solution is simple. The moment you hear that first high-pitched squeal, don't delay. Get your brakes inspected immediately. It's the cheapest and safest decision you can make. Now let's talk about a noise that can signal even more catastrophic failure: engine knock. This isn't a squeal or a grind, it's a deeper rhythmic tapping or pinging sound that often gets louder as you accelerate. It can sound like a handful of marbles rattling around inside your engine. This is one of the most serious sounds a car can make, and it's a direct cry for help from the very heart of your vehicle. Ignoring this sound is not an option if you want your car to survive. It's the equivalent of a heart patient ignoring chest pains. The consequences can be sudden and final, This knocking, often called detonation or pre-ignition, happens when the air-fuel mixture in the engine's cylinders ignites at the wrong time. This uncontrolled explosion fights against the normal operation of the piston, creating immense pressure and stress on internal components like the pistons, connecting rods, and crankshaft. It can be caused by a number of things, from using the wrong octane fuel to carbon buildup or a faulty sensor. Whatever the cause, the result is the same: a violent, damaging force hammering away at the core of your engine with every revolution. If you hear this knock and continue to drive, you are playing a dangerous game of Russian roulette with your engine. The immense stress can lead to cracked pistons, bent connecting rods, and damaged bearings. These aren't simple fixes, they are among the most complex and expensive engine repairs possible, often requiring a complete engine rebuild or a full replacement or repair that can easily cost thousands of dollars and often exceeds the value of the car itself. That little knocking sound is the harbinger of total engine failure. So, what's the fix? The moment you hear a persistent knock or pinging from your engine, stop driving the car as much as possible and get it to a trusted mechanic immediately. Don't try to push it, don't turn up the radio, and don't hope it goes away on its own. It won't. A professional can diagnose the root cause, which could be as simple as switching to a higher octane fuel or cleaning a sensor. Catching it early can be the difference between a minor adjustment and a salvage yard. Remember, your car is talking to you. Listen closely. Next up, we'll look at a warning that's silent, but just as deadly. Stay tuned for the silent killer you can't ignore. Okay, moving on to our second car-killing mistake. And this one doesn't make a sound. It's a little light on your dashboard that many people have unfortunately learned to live with. The check engine light. When that amber icon of an engine glows steadily on your instrument cluster, it's not a suggestion. It's not a decoration. It is a direct and urgent message from your car's brain. The engine control unit, or ECU, telling you that it has detected a problem somewhere in the complex web of sensors and systems that keep your engine running efficiently and cleanly. Ignoring this light is one of the most common and most damaging mistakes a car owner can make. I've seen people drive for months, even years, with that light on, thinking, well, the car still drives fine, so it can't be that serious. This is a massive gamble. While the initial problem might be minor, like a loose gas cap that disrupts the fuel system's pressure, it could also be the first sign of a critical issue, such as a failing catalytic converter or a misfiring cylinder that is dumping unburnt fuel into your exhaust system, a problem that can lead to catastrophic damage. The check engine light is your single best tool for early detection. The ECU is constantly monitoring dozens of parameters, from the oxygen content in your exhaust to the precise timing of your engine's spark. When a sensor reading falls outside of its normal operating range, the ECU logs a specific diagnostic trouble code, or DTC, and illuminates the light to get your attention. By ignoring it, you are flying blind. A new, more serious problem could arise, but you'd never know because the warning light is already on from the first issue. You've effectively disabled your car's most important warning system. Think of it this way. If your smoke detector's battery was low and it was chirping, you wouldn't just ignore it and hope a real fire doesn't start. You'd replace the battery so the system could do its job. The check engine light is no different. It's there to protect the single most expensive component in your vehicle, the engine. Leaving it on is like telling your car, "Go ahead, I'm not listening." That's a conversation that almost always ends with a very expensive and very preventable repair bill down the road. So, the light is on. What do? You don't have to panic and immediately assume the worst. Your first step is to arm yourself with knowledge, and the best tool for that job is an OBD2 scanner. This is a small, inexpensive device that you can buy online or at any auto parts store, and it is, without a doubt, one of the most powerful tools a modern car owner can possess. It plugs directly into the OBD2 port, which is usually located under the dashboard on the driver's side, and it communicates directly with your car's computer. Once connected, the scanner will read the specific trouble code that the ECU has stored. This code, something like P0301, might seem cryptic at first, but a quick search online will tell you exactly what it means. In this case, cylinder 1 misfire detected. Suddenly, you're no longer in the dark. You've gone from a vague, worrying light on your dash to a specific, actionable piece of information. You now know the nature of the problem, which empowers you to make an informed decision about what to do next. Having this information is a game changer. For one, it can save you from being taken advantage of at a repair shop. Instead of walking in and saying, "My check engine light is on," you can say, "My car is throwing a code for a cylinder 1 misfire. Can you investigate if it's the spark plug, ignition coil, or injector? This shows the mechanic you've done your homework and helps them diagnose the issue faster, saving you money on diagnostic labor. For many simpler codes like a loose gas cap or a faulty oxygen sensor, you might even be able to fix the issue yourself. Ultimately, an OBD2 scanner transforms you from a victim of circumstance into the master of your vehicle's health. It demystifies the check engine light and turns it from a source of anxiety into a valuable diagnostic tool. For an investment of as little as $20 or $30, you gain the ability to diagnose problems early, save hundreds or even thousands on repairs, and ensure your engine is always running in peak condition. Don't let that little light bully you, fight back with knowledge. Now what about the warnings you can see on the ground? Next, we're talking about driving with this leak. You don't want to miss it. Leaks can drain the life out of your engine without you noticing until it's too late. If that spot is dark and oily, or has a sweet chemical smell, you've got a problem. That little drip is a warning sign. Ignoring it will become a catastrophic failure. Think of your car's fluids as its lifeblood. When you have a leak, you're slowly bleeding out one of these vital fluids. Before you know it, you're looking at a completely seized engine. If you see a bright green, pink, or orange puddle, that's your cooling system screaming for attention. This can cause immense damage, like a warped cylinder head or a blown head gasket. The first step is vigilance. Get into the habit of checking where you park. Put a clean piece of cardboard under your car overnight to get a clear idea of what's leaking. This can give you a huge head start on fixing the problem. The next step is to identify what's leaking. Get under the car and trace that leak to its source. Now for the fix. Address leaks immediately. Please, for the sake of your car and your own safety, take leaks seriously. Fix the problem promptly. Your car and your wallet will thank you for it. We've talked about leaks, but what about the fluids that are to be in your car and the air in your tires? Skipping your regular fluid and tire pressure checks is a silent killer. Many people drive around for months without ever popping the hood or checking their tires, causing slow damage that leads to massive repair bills. Your tire pressure is critical. The correct tire pressure is on a sticker inside your driver's side door. Checking it monthly avoids problems. Now under the hood, check your fluids. Engine oil cleans and cools but gets dirty. A quick dipstick check prevents damage. Transmission fluid is crucial for smooth shifting. Low fluid leads to expensive failures. Coolant and brake fluid are just as important. Once a month, check your tire pressure and make it a full vehicle health check. It's a simple routine that gives you a complete picture of your car's health. Don't skip these checks. Rust is like automotive cancer, eating your car alive. Those innocent-looking bubbles are just the tip of the iceberg, often hiding severe decay underneath. Ignoring rust compromises your car's structural integrity, especially on the frame. Rust is corrosion from oxygen and moisture, and cars are mostly steel, making them vulnerable. Rocks, debris, and salt chip away at protective coatings, exposing bare metal. Rust on the frame or unibody is dangerous, weakening its ability to protect you in a crash. A rusted frame can turn a car into a death trap. Be proactive and prevent rust, especially in salty environments. Fight back to make your car last. Keep the undercarriage clean with pressure washing, especially in wheel wells and frame rails. Inspect for paint bubbles or flaking metal. Tap frame rails, listening for a solid sound. Remove surface rust completely with a wire brush or sandblaster. Treat clean metal with rust converter and a durable top coat. Consider professional oil-based rust inhibitor for ultimate protection. Don't let rust win. Hey guys, Chris Fix here and welcome back. Mistake number 6. Ignoring that shake. That vibration you feel through the steering wheel is a clear signal something is wrong. Most commonly, it's related to your wheels and tires. Constant vibration is a destructive force, wearing out wheel bearings, ball joints, and shocks. Fixing an unbalanced wheel is cheap and easy. If your car pulls to one side, you're likely dealing with wheel alignment. Poor alignment causes uneven tire wear, drastically reducing their lifespan. Get a wheel alignment as part of your yearly maintenance. Take care of your alignment, and your car will take care of you. But what if the problem isn't a shake, but a smell? Car-killing mistake number 7 involves your nose. If you smell something burning, that's a massive red flag. It often signals an oil leak or electrical problem. Ignoring it can lead to engine failure or a car fire. A common cause is oil leaking onto a hot part, like the exhaust manifold. Check for fresh oil, stains, or drips. Don't just add oil, fix the leak. If you see smoke, pull over immediately. Blue smoke means burning oil. White smoke or steam indicates overheating, often from a coolant leak. Check fluid levels monthly and inspect hoses. If there's smoke, get away from the car and call for help. Regular maintenance prevents these issues. Alright, on to car-killing mistake number 8. Ignoring a car that struggles to start. You know the sound. You turn the key and instead of a quick, crisp vroom, you get a slow, sluggish rrr. That slow crank is the sound of your engine fighting to turn over, and it's a clear cry for help from your car's starting system. Most people immediately blame the battery, and while that's often the case, they just jump-start the car and move on, ignoring the root cause. This is a huge mistake because a weak start is a warning that you're on the verge of being stranded somewhere. That slow, labored cranking is almost always a sign of a weak or dying battery. Car batteries don't last forever. Their ability to hold a charge degrades over time, especially in extreme hot or cold climates. A weak battery might have just enough juice to get the car started on a good day, but it's living on borrowed time. One cold morning or one time you accidentally leave an interior light on, and that's it. You'll be met with silence or the dreaded clicking sound. Ignoring the slow crank is like ignoring the low battery warning on your phone. Eventually, it's going to die at the most inconvenient moment possible. The problem could also be a faulty alternator. The alternator's job is to recharge the battery while the engine is running and to power all the car's electronics. If the alternator is failing, it won't be able to adequately charge the battery. So you might have a perfectly good battery that's simply not getting the power it needs. You can jump-start the car and drive away, but the battery will just drain again, leaving you stranded once more. A telltale sign of a failing alternator is your headlights dimming at idle and then brightening up when you rev the engine. So, here's the fix. If your car is struggling to start, don't just ignore it. The first step is to get your battery tested. Most auto parts stores will do this for free. They use a special tool called a load tester that can determine the health of your battery and tell you if it needs to be replaced. You should make this a yearly check, especially if your battery is more than 3 years old. If the battery checks out okay, then you need to have your charging system, specifically the alternator, inspected by a mechanic. A simple test can save you from the massive headache of a no-start situation. But what if the engine cranks at a normal speed but still won't start, or it takes a long time to finally catch and run? This points to a different issue, likely with your fuel or ignition system. For an engine to start, it needs 3 things: spark, fuel, and compression. If it's cranking fine, your battery and starter are likely okay, so we need to look at the other 2. A common culprit is a clogged fuel filter or weakening fuel pump. Over time, sediment and debris in your gas tank can clog the filter, restricting fuel flow to the engine. The engine is essentially being starved of the fuel it needs to fire up. Similarly, your fuel injectors, which are responsible for spraying a fine mist of gasoline into the engine's cylinders, can become clogged with carbon deposits. When this happens, they can't deliver the proper amount of fuel, leading to a rough idle, poor performance, and, you guessed it, hard starting. It's like trying to water your garden with a clogged-up spray nozzle. You'll get some sputtering drips instead of a fine, even spray. This inefficiency not only makes starting difficult but also hurts your fuel economy and can lead to more serious engine problems down the line if left unchecked. The other side of the equation is spark. Your spark plugs are responsible for igniting the air-fuel mixture. Just like batteries, spark plugs are wear and tear items with a limited lifespan. As the electrodes wear down, the gap becomes too wide, and the spark becomes weak and inconsistent. A weak spark will struggle to ignite the fuel, especially on a cold engine, resulting in extended cranking times or a complete failure to start. Worn-out ignition coils or spark plug wires can also be to blame, as they can prevent the high voltage from reaching the spark plugs in the first place. The solution is regular maintenance of your fuel and ignition systems. Check your owner's manual for the recommended service interval for your fuel filter and spark plugs, and replace them accordingly. It's a relatively inexpensive job that you can often do yourself. To keep your injectors clean, you can use a quality fuel injector cleaner additive in your gas tank every few thousand miles. This simple maintenance will ensure your engine gets the clean fuel and strong spark it needs to start reliably every single time. Next, a driving habit that ages your car faster than anything else. Aggressive driving puts unnecessary strain on your car, from the engine and transmission to the brakes and suspension. Slamming on your brakes wears out brake pads and rotors, generating heat that can warp them. The key to longevity is smoothness. Imagine an open cup of coffee on your dashboard. Gentle acceleration, coasting to a stop, and maintaining steady speed saves your car from premature wear. It also improves your fuel economy. Protect your investment and keep your car running reliably. We're talking about saving thousands of dollars just by changing how you press the pedals. By operating your car with care and respect, you are actively preserving its life and saving yourself a massive amount of money in the long run. You're well on your way to hitting that 500,000-mile goal. One of the most underestimated car-killing mistakes is avoiding the undercarriage wash. Road salt, de-icing brines, mud and grime get caked onto your car, causing rust. This silently eats away at your car's frame, suspension, brake, and fuel lines. The real enemy is lurking below, causing failures without warning. During winter months, get an undercarriage wash at least once or twice a month, especially after snowstorms. It's a small investment that preserves your vehicle's structural integrity. Before winter, apply a rust-inhibiting undercoating. When washing your car, pay special attention to the wheel wells and rocker panels. Get your car inspected yearly, looking for rust. If you catch rust early, treat it by removing the loose scale and applying a rust converter. Combine regular washes with protective coating and yearly inspections for a formidable defense against corrosion. And there you have it, my friends. 10 of the most common and most destructive car-killing mistakes that prevent vehicles from reaching their full potential. We've covered a lot, from listening for those strange noises and never ignoring that check engine light, to addressing leaks immediately and keeping up with your fluid and tire checks. We talked about stopping rust in its tracks, paying attention to shakes and vibrations, and investigating any burning smells. We also learned why a struggling start needs immediate attention, how smooth driving saves you thousands, and why washing your undercarriage is non-negotiable for long-term survival. Each of these tips on its own is a step in the right direction, but when you combine them, when you make them a regular part of your car ownership habit, you fundamentally change your car's destiny. You're no longer just a driver, you're a caretaker. You're transforming your vehicle from a disposable appliance into a long-term, reliable partner that can take you, your family, and your friends on countless journeys. Reaching 100,000 miles is just the beginning. With this knowledge and a little bit of effort, 200,000, 300,000, and yes, even 500,000 miles is an achievable goal. It's all about proactive maintenance, not reactive repairs. So, I want to hear from you. Which of these 10 mistakes surprised you the most? Or which one are you going to start working on today? Let me know in the comments below. Your feedback and stories help our entire community of car enthusiasts become better owners, and if you found this video helpful and want to save money while keeping your car in top shape, do me a huge favor and smash that like button, and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. We've got a lot more car saving tips coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.